In this video, I'm going to talk about all of the things I definitely do not miss about living in the United States. In the United States, everything is done in excess. You have to supersize it, but supersize is not like a large size drink like it is here. Supersize is like 4 burgers in one like sandwich. It is so excessive. Everything has to be extreme. Everything has to be way over the top in America. And it's definitely not like that here in England. And it's one thing that I am very appreciative of, that everything is just a little bit more toned down, reasonable. You can get some of that excess things, especially in places like McDonald's and some other, like Americanized or American versions of things and American companies. But for the most part, it's just a really calm, subdued, you get decent sized portions of your food. People here take things a little bit more seriously as far as just balancing things out and using common sense a little bit and not just getting obsessed and overwhelmed and all of that kind of stuff with the excess. Well, I really appreciate that about England. Another thing I don't miss, the individualism. My favorite thing about being here in England is the fact that there's a sense of community that is underlying throughout the entire culture. No matter who you meet, no matter what's going on, for the most part, most people want to help, most people want to be friendly, most people want to maintain, a sense of order and want to make sure that everybody's pretty much taken care of in most scenarios. And I really appreciate that. Coming from America, where everyone's pretty much on their own, you have to figure out your taxes on your own. You have to figure out, where you can live to have a decent school system for your children on your own. You have to figure out, your own health care on your own. You don't get a lot of help from the government, and even it's a very, dog eat dog kind of world, not just in a work setting, just in a everyday setting. You just feel like you're in competition all the time with everyone and always trying to figure things out. You don't have a lot of help just from society in general. I just find the fact that you don't have to deal with that here in England very refreshing. This one's kind of obvious, but it has to be mentioned. Guns. I don't miss having guns around all the time. Don't get me wrong, there's a gun culture here. People do, I don't think there's hunting, but people do like shoot skeet and things like that. And there are guns that you can get like for collectors or for certain sports and stuff like that. But it is regulated so well here. You have to be a certain age, you have to go through wellness checks, you have to go through background checks, you have to have regular checks of your home to make sure you're storing it safely. They interview your families. It's really, really, it's taken very seriously here, as it should be. And I don't miss the culture in America where it's not taken seriously, where a lot of the solutions to our gun issues in America are just ridiculous and have no common sense involved whatsoever. That people are just obsessed with hanging on to their guns rather than thinking about the collective good and trying to make the whole country safer. To not have to worry about who has a gun every time I go out. It's just a huge, huge plus for England, and it's definitely something that I do not miss from the United States. Another obvious one, but another one that has to be said, the healthcare situation. Not having to worry about paying for my healthcare, not having to worry about my insurance, if it covers this or that, not having to worry about having a savings account in case something happens or somebody gets sick or we have to, somebody gets hurt and they can't work, and saving up for that just in case, or worrying about how much it's going to cost if I get sick or I need some antibiotics or I need a special treatment of some kind. That makes life so much easier to not have to think about that all the time and just know that I have to make an appointment, I have to get to the doctor, I go to the doctor, I tell them what's going on, and they help me, they give me what I need. I have never had a negative experience with the NHS so far. I haven't had that many, but I've never had a negative experience. I know some people have some problems with it, and I do think there are some reforms that need to happen with the NHS by far, but it's also by far so much better than the system that's in the United States. I would do anything to have my fellow Americans be able to experience this a little bit more, because it is an amazing, freeing way of life that I wish all of you could have and experience. Another thing I don't miss about America is how the culture is always on the go. They're literally always going. There is not a community of relaxation that is instilled in the culture in America. People work really long hours, they work a lot. Very often people even work on their vacations or their time off, and they're still checking emails or making calls or things like that. And here it is so different from that. Not only are you entitled to a certain amount of vacation just from the get-go, just from being hired, your supervisors actually get on you about making sure you take it at certain times and making sure that you take it all and that you don't leave anything on the table. And every time that I've ever taken time off while I've been working here in England, it has always been, don't check your emails, we don't want to hear from you, we don't want to see you until you get back. I just really like that because obviously everybody deserves time off and relax, right? Especially people like my fellow Americans, because you all work really hard, you work long hours, you deserve the break. And it's something that I do not miss from America. I don't miss having to work a lot or having it be expected to work more than the 40 hours I was hired for. I don't like the I should be happy that I have a job scenario or attitude in a lot of the cultures that I've worked in, and that taking time off is almost frowned upon and almost looked down on. And I don't miss that about America at all. The last thing I don't miss about America is turning on the television and seeing commercials for drugs and medical procedures. I love that I don't have to deal with that anymore, because most of them scared the hell out of me. I was always so nervous about even thinking about another medication, trying to figure out if I was going to get sicker from the medication than how sick I actually was. And why should it be on the consumer to talk to their doctor about medicine? If I'm having a problem, the doctor should know what medicines are going to help me, and it shouldn't be promoted to me in order to get in contact with them to find out if it actually is going to help me. So I don't miss any of the drug commercials. I don't miss any of the medical facility commercials. I don't miss any of the talk to your doctor moments. That is definitely something that I'm glad I don't have to deal with while I'm living here in England. There you have it, guys. The things I don't miss about the United States while I'm living here in England. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click that subscribe button, or if not, no big deal, but thank you for the view, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.